I am Sikusiana and I'm here to tell you about an interesting program, first of its kind in the country, the Nationwide Literacy Program, or NFLP for short. The NFLP is an initiative of the State Bank of Pakistan, which has been funded by the Asian Development Bank and is managed by Bearing Point.
I would like to thank and congratulate our partners, including the Asian Development Bank, Werner, thank you, Pakistan's Banks Association, Pakistan Microfinance Network, Pakistan Poverty Alleviation Fund, and Bearing Point for their support and collaboration to make financial literacy a key priority.
NFLP was born out from a concern which was highlighted by a survey called Access to Finance, which was conducted by the State Bank of Pakistan and Finscope. It was done a few years ago and had disparaging results. This survey showed us that only 12% of the entire population is currently using the formal banking sector, while 56% Pakistanis remain financially excluded from both informal and formal sectors. Of Pakistan's total adult population of 7 crore 80 lakh, only 3.5% of the country's population has access to formal lines of credit. 66% of the population is unbanked, 56% of the adult population is financially excluded. Only 12% of the entire population is currently using the formal banking sector. A careful look at any country's financial system reveals that lack of accessibility to financial systems and inadequate awareness about money management are few of the basic reasons for causing financial distress to the common man. Due to the lack of accessibility to financial systems, people use informal channels and risk losing their hard-earned money. As a consequence, they continue to face financial problems and find it difficult to break through the poverty cycle. This is why, for any country to have a successful financial system, financial literacy is a must. When the average Pakistani doesn't use the formal banking system, he or she tries to save at home and borrows from informal channels in case of dire need. This way, not only are their savings not kept safe, but in fact, when the person utilizes informal sources of credit, he is vulnerable to high interest rates. Usually, informal credit lenders utilize harsh means to collect their money, which denies borrowers their rights and is stressful and demeaning. Over the years, the world has realized national growth is only beneficial if it is inclusive, and economic development rests upon the vital role which access to finance plays. Access to Finance surveys showed us that one of the reasons rates of financial inclusion remain low in our country is because of low financial literacy. Financial literacy is the ability to understand and use formal financial sector to make financial decisions which positively impact their day-to-day life and help create a future plan. Our level of financial literacy affects our ability to provide for our families, to invest in our education and that of our children, short-term expenditure, long-term expenditure, and for emergencies. Financial literacy is actually important for everyone, no matter what their income level. And the penalty for financial illiteracy can be severe, especially for the lower income classes who stand to lose the most proportionally from poor financial decisions. Financial literacy is an important but often overlooked vehicle of poverty elevation. A family that makes better financial decisions is economically stable and financially secure. Their children stay in school for longer, stay healthier, and have hope for upward social mobility. In an effort to improve the financial environment by helping people become aware of their rights and responsibilities as financial consumers, the State Bank of Pakistan with Pakistan Bankers Association, Pakistan Microfinance Network, Pakistan Poverty Alleviation Fund and the local education sector created the Improving Access to Financial Services Fund. After initiatives to improve operations and services at banks and microfinance organizations, this program is an important natural next step to creating an efficient economic ecosystem. NFLP was not the first program of its kind. Examples from around the world abound of successful financial education schemes implemented by central banks in developing countries. Bearing Point, with guidance from SBP, worked with leading local organizations for this project. They also worked with international subject matter experts to make the program a success. National Financial Educators Council, the Association of Microfinance Institutions of Uganda, Empowerment Through Creative Integration (ECI), and Microfinance Opportunities experts helped devise a financial education curricula which was relevant to Pakistani culture and socio-economic demographics. At the same time, training methodologies and manuals were also created. In order to make sure that the curriculum incorporated was needed rather than just what was thought was needed, we conducted 2 surveys. We worked with Pakistan Microfinance Network in 4 provinces of the country to gauge current financial knowledge of average Pakistanis. We also asked practitioners of microfinance about the level of financial knowledge that they would like to see in a client of microfinance. Similarly, surveys were conducted with banks, customers, and potential to identify learning preferences, modes of dissemination, and interest in curriculum topics. Working with a foreign financial literacy trainer and local curriculum design and development expert, the country's first nationwide financial literacy curriculum was devised. This curriculum is based on 7 themes: budgeting, savings, investments, managing debt, accessing financial services, consumer rights, and responsibilities, branchless or mobile banking. These materials were translated into Urdu, Sindhi, and English. Participant handbooks and flyers were especially designed to cater to low and non-literate individuals and were picture-based rather than text-intensive. Our entire workshop, in fact, borrows more from the storytelling style of teaching involving me, Sikku, and my family, and the story of how we learnt to improve our financial situation.
Once all material was prepared, a pilot workshop was conducted to test our methodology and books, and people related to the stories behind it being told. After incorporating feedback from our pilot sessions, NFLP materials were finalized, and it was time to roll it out for a nationwide dissemination. Our partners for outreach were non-profit, community-based organizations doing development work in all 4 provinces of the country. We commenced with trainings of their trainers first. A 3-day training of trainers was held in Mardan, Quetta, Hyderabad, and Lahore, in which over 160 trainers were trained. The continuity aspect of the program was given prime importance during the selection of participating institutions and field trainers. By coordinating closely with these partners, 2-day workshops were conducted across 4 provinces of the country in over 50 districts. This way, qualified trainers involved adult men and women from low-income backgrounds with a variety of occupations. These workshops were conducted from Chichawatni to Mardan,
Lora Lai to Mastung,
Rashada to Sard Chini, and from Mitti to Chachdo. Over 1,000 workshops trained over 40,000 people who are now able to make better informed financial decisions about their lives. At the same time, appealing to the culture of street theatre in Punjab and Sindh, a roadshow was conducted where performances presented key messages from our curriculum in a fun and easy to understand way. Families flocked to over 20 locations where these theatre shows were conducted. Not only were families entertained by these shows, but they also learned better money management skills. I'm sure you must have seen my debut on television as part of a public service message campaign. For a few months, I shared financial tips on national and terrestrial television channels daily.
क्या तुम्हें मालूम है, तुम्हारे अच्छे वक्तों की छोटी छोटी बचत तुम्हारे बुरे वक्त में बड़े बड़े काम आ सकती है। जानोगे तो मानोगे।
At the same time, I was also spreading these important messages via radio and newspapers.
क्या तुम्हें मालूम है, बाजार में एक चाय के कप की कीमत 15 रुपए होती है और अगर 15 रुपए रोज के जमा किए जाएं, तो साल के आखिर में इन पैसों से अपनी एक बकरी या सिलाई मशीन खरीदी जा सकती है। जानोगे तो मानोगे।
Conducting a project of this scale can be a complex process and requires a robust and effective monitoring and evaluation strategy. Bearing Point, with State Bank's guidance, designed two separate frameworks where one tracked the progress of project components and the other which helped evaluate overall effectiveness of the program. We believe we have equipped our fellow Pakistanis with the skills and knowledge they need to better manage their income and make better long-term financial decisions. These skills and knowledge, people changing their behavior to save more, be more responsible, borrowing money, look for ways to make their income grow, decrease their expenses, be aware of their rights, keep their funds safe in the banks, and utilize easy-to-use branchless banking more. The project is now expected to be scaled for its next phase. It will now involve over 500,000 Pakistanis to have a significant impact on financial inclusion for the unprivileged. The success of this program rests on involving as many Pakistanis as possible. To achieve this, Bearing Point is now partnering with non-profits and for-profits, ensuring effectiveness and sustainability of the program in the long term. A number of Pakistan Microfinance Network members have stepped forward with an interest in institutionalizing the NFLP. We are positive that partnerships with local businesses and other organizations will cement in the upcoming months to ensure success of the program. NFLP is a program by Pakistani people, for the Pakistani people, because we know that our country's economic growth depends upon the financial stability of the low-income populace of the country. To learn more about NFLP and to see how you can get involved, please get in touch.